What's happening, guys? Back at you with another video. So in this video, we're going to be ranking all the Halloween movies from worst to best. So Halloween Ends that came out recently, it's about time that I actually rank all these Halloween movies. So we have a total of 13 movies that I'll be ranking from worst to best. Let's go ahead and get to it. So coming in at the bottom for me is going to have to be Halloween Resurrection. And the things I could say about this movie, I don't know. This was kind of that typical early 2000s kind of horror movie where they try to, I don't know, is that typical basic kind of 2000s horror a little bit that they used to put those movies out in the early 2000s with Michael Myers in it. So just the things about this movie, I did not like this movie first off because it pretty much retcons the finale to Halloween H2O, which I thought was a great finale, great ending to the whole Laurie Strode and Michael Myers battle and saga, whatever they had. And basically, this movie pretty much erases that, retcons it within the first few minutes by killing off Laurie Strode. So yeah, that's one thing that I didn't like about the movie. And then of course Michael, just everything they did about this. And the one thing was Buster Rhymes defeating Michael Myers with karate. That's right, karate. Can you believe that? Karate, and also to electrifying his balls. Yeah, that's what they did in this movie. So just different things about this movie. It's like it's in a bomb for me. And I don't know. Moving on with the list, we're going to go with Halloween 5. Now, the deal with Halloween 5, this was part of the whole Cult of Thorn trilogy going on with the 4, 5, and 6. I don't know. I didn't really like that they killed off. Dang, what's her name? I forgot her name. But the one chick that they killed off in the beginning. Didn't really like that they did that. I really thought she was a great addition in Halloween 4. I really did like her, and I wish she would have stayed alive throughout the movies. But they killed her off, and we got her replacement with Tina, who wasn't really typical. I mean, I don't know. She's not your typical kind of final girl. Really, she's was kind of I'm not gonna say completely annoying, but like just one of those things in this movie where it's like she definitely did not measure up to the previous previous final girl that we had for Halloween, and just didn't really like it. And then you got Jamie in here who's kind of mute for most of the movie and stuff like that, and just things here and there. Loomis is kind of going overboard a little bit with some stuff. It seems like with Jamie and all that. I don't know. It just seemed like I just didn't like it as much. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And that's going to be Halloween 6. Halloween 6, pretty much the finale to the Cult of Thorn trilogy that they had going on. And just things about this movie I didn't really like too much. You kind of kill off Jamie, the main character, again in the first few minutes of this movie. Then you continue this whole cult thing. It pretty much makes Michael Myers look like as he's just a henchman. That you have the main cult and that he's just their henchman and goes out killing whenever they say he needs to kill and stuff like that. I don't know. I just didn't really like that whole thing where he acts like a henchman and stuff like that. It's like you could have done some interesting things with this whole cult thing. Making him like pure evilness and stuff like that. But they kind of made him a henchman and stuff like that, where he was only killing when he was told to kill and stuff like that. And you got like Paul Rudd in this movie, kind of his pretty much one of his first roles, I think it was. And it's not really typically Paul Rudd, the stuff you see Paul Rudd in, so it's like it's whatever and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely some things I didn't really like too much about this movie. But let's go ahead and get on to the next movie. The next movie on the list for me is going to be Rob Zombie's Halloween from 2007. I'm going to say like probably the first half, I didn't really like it too much. I mean, it wasn't bad or anything like that, but I don't know. I just don't like the whole childhood thing that we got with Michael Myers, where it showed him growing up with he had a bad family and being bullied and stuff like that. I don't know. One of the things I like about Michael Myers is that we don't really get an explanation to everything that he does or stuff like that. I kind of like the aspect where he's like just pure evilness and stuff like that. So like when we got the behind the scenes sort of why he's kind of doing it with this whole growing up bad family and stuff like that, being bullied and stuff like that. I mean, it's not too bad of a storyline really, but it's like it goes so much in depth behind it that it kind of takes away that mystery, that kind of thing that is like I like Michael Myers to be just pure evilness and stuff like that. So it kind of takes away from that. And then on the back half, I do like the back half to where it kind of we kind of get that iteration of Rob Zombie's iteration of the classic Halloween from 1978, which I thought was pretty good. I did like the way it is. It's kind of a little bit more gruesome. I do like the gruesomeness and kind of the gruesomeness to it and all that stuff, where it's kind of really vicious kills and stuff like that. So I do kind of like that back half of Halloween 2007, but that beginning half where we get explanation and deep dive into Michael's psyche and everything going on with him. I just like that little that kind of mystery about Michael Myers. That's why I didn't like it as much in this movie. Next up on the list for me is going to be Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Now with this movie, I thought it was actually not a bad movie. I just have it a little bit lower on my list because the fact that it doesn't have Michael Myers in it, and I'm not saying that as like a bad thing or anything like that, or like a dodge to this movie. Like as a movie, it's pretty good as a movie in general. It stands alone on its own, and this was when they were trying to start the whole anthology series with Halloween. But a lot of people didn't like it whenever it came out, of course, and didn't like the fact that it didn't have Michael Myers in it. So that's when they start to go back to Michael Myers' story. But as a movie in general, this movie is not bad. It's just like I could watch this movie on its own merits and all that stuff and still kind of like it. But yeah, it's the fact that Michael Myers is not in this movie, which I don't really want to put it on this movie too much, that it's bad or anything like that, because it's not bad. It's just like I don't usually go to it a whole lot when it comes to watching it for Halloween and stuff like that. But nonetheless, it's still not a bad movie to me. Next up on the list for me is going to be Halloween Kills. Now, with Halloween Kills, I like the first half of this movie. The vicious rampage that we get from Michael Myers, him killing everybody, just going down the line and stuff like that, killing people and stuff like that. I like everything about that. When we come to the second half with all the mob stuff, I thought it was a little bit stupid and annoying to me. Just my opinion. That's what kind of turned me off to this movie a little bit, was the mob stuff where they were kind of dumb, stupid, annoying a little bit and stuff like that. That's kind of one of the reasons why this movie's at this spot. But I like the first half and everything they did with the first half of Michael Myers, where he went on his vicious rampage. All right, next up on the list for me is going to be Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 that came out in 2009. I kind of like the concept that Rob Zombie was doing with this movie, where it was sort of dream sort of sequence. I don't know. A lot of people say it's sort of the Requiem for a Dream kind of Halloween movie. So I kind of like the concept that he was doing with this movie and stuff like that. It was kind of different, it was kind of different. I kind of like that it was a little different, the whole concept that he was trying to do with it and stuff like that. But it's not really typically a Halloween movie that I visit a lot when it comes to like watching and stuff like that. But like I could appreciate the concept and kind of the kind of different story route that he was going with this one. One thing I didn't really like about this one is that Loomis, I didn't really like the way that Loomis was in this movie. He's kind of insufferable in this movie, but a couple things here and there and stuff like that, about other things too. But nonetheless, I do like the gruesomeness of this movie, where we get a very vicious Michael Myers in the way he's kills and stuff like that, and just the whole concept of the way Rob Zombie was doing this movie and stuff like that. I could kind of enjoy it for that part. All right, next up on the list for me is going to be Halloween Ends. Now, Halloween Ends, I already said before, did not think it was a bad movie. Didn't really have a bad story to me, just for the fact that I think they should have done a better job with the overall finale, since this is the finale of Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, the saga between them and the battle and confrontation between them. They should have done a little bit better job with this whole overall finale, I think. So they could have done better job with it, but I think the Corey storyline was pretty good. They should have saved it for another movie, but yeah, that's why it's on this spot on the list. Next up on the list for me is going to be Halloween 2 from 1981. I like the way that they did this movie, where it's a continuation of the first original Halloween movie from 1978. I like how it's kind of pairs well with the original Halloween, where you could watch the original Halloween and Halloween 2 like back to back. It kind of that double movie thing kind of going on. So I like the different things they were doing in this movie, and just the setting of a hospital, which makes it kind of creepy and scary too. So I like the things they did with this movie. Next up on the list for me is going to be Halloween H2O. Halloween H2O, I think, was a really good finale when it comes to like Halloween, and then you go to Halloween 2, and then you go to Halloween H2O, and just everything that they did with this movie as a finale. Very fast paced, this movie was, which I kind of like. It's very short, so it makes it very fast paced. Everything they set up and stuff like that, and then we get the big old battle with Laurie Strode and Michael Myers in the end, in the way that she was able to pretty much kill him up until we get Halloween Resurrection, which erases and retcons everything, which, like I said before, I hate that part. But nonetheless, Halloween H2O I thought was a great finale to the original movie. So I thought they did a great job with this. Next up on the list for me is going to be Halloween 4. Now, this is the start of the whole sort of Cult of the Thorn trilogy, that we get the new character of Jamie, which was Laurie's daughter. So I like the whole storyline with this one. In number 4, we get a good final girl with I keep forgetting her name. But the whole Laurie's not Laurie, Jamie's adoptive sister. I thought she was a great final girl, a great addition to this movie, and the whole storyline with Jamie. And I kind of like what they did with the ending, but then they retconned it in Halloween 5. They do a lot of retconning, as y'all know, in this whole franchise and stuff like that. But I did like the ending, and I liked what it was trying to set up. But of course, we don't get that later on. But nonetheless, I like this movie. I like what it was able to do and stuff like that. With the whole Jamie, Michael Myers coming after Jamie and stuff like that to finish off the bloodline and stuff like that of killing off his family and stuff like that. So I liked what they were able to do with some of the stuff in here. Next up on the list for me is going to be Halloween 2018. So I thought this was a great sort of continuation from the original Halloween 1978 movie. Just a little bit of different things in here. The way Laurie is in here, the way we get Michael Myers, breaking out and stuff like that, and he seems a little bit more gruesome. They kind of take it a little bit more gruesome, not as gruesome as Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, but they do try to step it up a little bit with gruesomeness on how he is and stuff like that. He's a little more vicious in this movie, which I kind of like, and I just like the things that it sets up. And honestly, I thought it was a great continuation from the original 1978 movie. But of course, we get to the number one spot, and of course, the number one spot is going to be the original 1978 Halloween movie by John Carpenter. John Carpenter proved that simplicity works. Like, the way that he did this story in this movie, he did it the simplest way possible, and he just proved that simplicity just works for this franchise. Things he was able to do with the first one, and just elevating that horror slasher genre and stuff like that, and just everything he was able to do, and just like it was just a basic simple story he took, and it just elevates it and stuff like that. So like I said, simplicity works for this original movie. Everybody pretty much says that this is a classic, like this is the best Halloween movie in the franchise, and I totally agree with that. I watch it a lot of times. I basically watch it maybe every Halloween. Maybe this is one of those movies that I basically might watch every Halloween, because it just stands the test of time with everything it does and stuff like that. It's such a great movie and stuff like that. And of course, a lot of people will say it's going to be the best, and it's at their number one spots. But let me know down in the comments below, how would you rank all 13 Halloween movies? Definitely would like to hear your thoughts on that. But that's going to do it for this video. Hope y'all all enjoyed it. Remember, if you want to be part of Team Legendary, all you got to do is subscribe and turn notifications on so you know when I post another video. Hope you all have an awesome day. And remember, be legendary.